good. Just so you know, once in a while my web connection might go down. In that case, you will still hear me. The screen won't update that fast. That's the only thing. But the conference will not be lost. You will just, not be able to see my screen updating. Otherwise, everything should be okay. So when you're going to record this, you ready?
Started recording.
Okay, good. Ajit Krishnan is here. Namaskara. Hello? No, he's not there. Well, let me introduce you. By the way, this
His name appears, but nothing else.
He had the mic before. He may not be there now, but he might be listening to us. By the way, actually he's back. Let me unmute him so he can talk to us. Ajit, namaskara. Okay, by the way, he can speak in Sanskrit fluently. By the way, he's on the West Coast.
Oh.
He's doing a lot of work with Sanskrit Bharati and also the things like, collect. He has also developed, this dictionary online, Monier Williams, where you can search things very quickly. I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to use it. So he's a very knowledgeable person.
Oh,
so
I see.
Good to have him on the class. So
yeah, that's great.
We can also speak Sanskritam in the class, slowly.
Yeah.
I'm not able to do myself, but but anyway, so welcome, Ajit. I think he's having some problem with the mic probably, but I can see his name.
Yeah.
Oh, he's calling you on the phone now, maybe. But anyway, we'll start and we'll join. We'll welcome him. Anyway, it's a very good resource to have in the class.
Yeah.
Okay, almost 6:45. You can see my screen. Okay, good.
You want to ask everybody if they can see your screen? Let them confirm it.
I think you can see my. Can everybody not see my screen? Raise your hand. Okay, I think because I have the attendance view, Vince. I think they can see.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're able to see. All right. Okay.
I'm confirming that from my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start. So, Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vivete Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittalayat Sada Bhotame Bho Rama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Ayun Tulruk Ayong Ayouch Ayavarat Lan Nyamanganam Jabanj Garadash
Jabagadash
Kapha Chata Chata Tav
Kapha Chata Chata Tav Kapai Shasasar
Al Itimai
Sutrani.
Okay, so everybody's ready, good. So we on, I think, shloka number 82. I thought next time after the last class, I thought maybe we'll cut down the grammar a little bit because we spent a lot of time on grammar last time, which everybody may not want. What I will do is that I will give you the sutras in brief. I'll tell you where you can look in Bhaimi also for the answers, but you probably won't go through all the steps too much because that will slow down the class. I want to get at least maybe 3 shlokas per class if possible, if I can do. That'll be 9. That'll be nice. Let me bring my Ashtadhyayi up for a second. Give me 1 second here. Let me just use the Ashtadhyayi. So that's what I was thinking. Maybe we can keep the grammar down a little bit and, do more of reading. And if there's any question, of course, I'll be more than happy to answer. We'll see how it goes. Let me see if Ajit ji can hear me now because I see his phone. Let me see. Namaskar, Ajit.
Namaste, Mahodaya.
Namaste. Aham muktavan Sanskrit bhasham aham vaktum na shaknami bhavan shaknoti iti. Bhavata adharena
vadati.
Makam api Sanskrit bhasham vaktum abhyasa syat. Naipunyam vayam prapnuyam iti. Aprapnuyam. So this is Ajit ji from the West Coast. He's, as I said to everybody, he's speaks fluently and he works with Sanskrit Bharati, I think, and he's also doing a lot of work on the web, by the way. So anybody wants information how to, access, Sanskritam documents on the web or, use them, and I think Kalpesh ji, I'm going to introduce him to him also. So he's joining us today. So welcome. Dhanyaha vayam. So, okay.
Dhanyavad.
Okay, and now let me see is the, okay, so I got a sutra part here. Let's start from the shloka number 82. Let's do the, first step is samyak ucharanam. So, tesham dvayoraikyam, tesham dvayoraikyam, vibhidena kadachana, vibhidena kadachana. One more time. Teshan dvayoraikyam vibhidena kadachana. Teshan dvayoraikyam vibhidena kadachana. Yatha vayuvibhavasvor yatha chandra samudrayoho. Yatha vibhavasvor, I'm sorry. Yatha vayuvibhavasvor yatha chandra samudrayoho. I think that's a tough one. Yatha vayuvibhavasvor. Vibhavasu is pratipadikam there. So that's the, one more time, let's read the whole shloka again. Teshan dvayoraikyam vibhidena kadachana. Yatha vayuvibhavasvor yatha chandra samudrayoho. Okay, if you cannot do anything, at least do this much, chant it correctly, slowly, loudly, and slowly you will start getting the meanings. Okay, let's do padacheda now. So, tesham dvayoho aikyam bibidhe na kadachana yatha vayu vibhavasvor vibhavasvoho, I should say, yatha vayu vibhavasvoho yatha chandra samudrayoho. The compounds are, which ones are compounds? Again, what is a compound? A compound is when you look at a pradipadikam, you're able to take out one padam from inside and leave something behind which is not just a pratyaya. If you say, for example, look at the word dvayoho. That is not a compound. Because when you take the word out, dvi out of it, when you take the dva, you're left only with the os, the pratyaya. So that is not a compound. Even aikyam is not a compound. So when you take out the word eka, with the vriddhi has taken place there, you're left only the pratyaya shan is left behind. So that is a pratyaya. That is a pratyaya. So that is not a compound. Here the only compound, even the word kadachana, is there a compound? Well, no, that's a tricky subject because the word kada can be declined and undeclined will be the same form because it's avyaya. So a sutram avyayad apsupaha. Avyayad apsupaha. You get a sup look. So let's go to that quickly. So in 2.4, you see the sutram avyayad apsupaha. So when you have any padam which is avyayam, then it takes sup look. So this is the one, avyayad apsupaha. 2482 apsupaha. So that's when you get the sup look. So when that happens, you don't know whether that item is inside the compound or not. Avyayad apsupaha. So that is, but here, then how do we know what's the compound or not? Then we want to see what is the meaning, and ultimately you have to find some sutram in 2.1 or 2.2, which will justify the compound. And also, is the compound required? So here it is not really required because the word chana is an avyaya. It sits after these. In fact, we can do one more thing. We can take the word like kaschana. Now, kaschana is definitely not a compound. Why not? Because the word kaha is declined. So let me open our document here. I'm sorry, I should have done this before. But let me, give me 1 second. Let me open our document. Sanskritam, Monday class. Okay. Because if we take the word, kaschana, let me just save this as a different, give me a second. Save it. Today is what, Feb 1, right? Okay, good. Feb 1. So let me, so that's another way to check that this is not, so kadachana is not a compound. Because if you look at the word kaschana, then you will see that when you say kaha plus chana. So this is, and we get the form after doing the sandhi operations, we will get kaschana. I'm sorry. kaschana. Now this is not a compound because the declension is there inside. The word kaha, there is declension inside. See, the general rule, going back to the same section about the sup, look, the rule which says that supo dhatu pratipadikayoho, 2471, supo dhatu pratipadikayoho. So inside a pratipadikam, a sup cannot remain. A sup cannot remain inside a pratipadikam. So even though in the compounds we do have, different padas, the sup ending is lost by this sutram. Supo dhatu pratipadikayoho. If you look at the word kaschana, it is not a compound because kaschana has the sup inside it. Kaha is there. That is the su ending. So similarly here also, kadachana is not a compound. It's not a compound because, we have, there's no reason to form a compound and there's also no sutram to justify the compound. So kadachana is not a compound. But this one is a compound. Vayu vibhavasvoho. That is declined, the pratipadikam is Vayu Vibhavasu. And it's a Dvandva compound, Itaretra Dvandva, A plus B compound. Declined because how do we know that? We can look at the declension ending. It's a dual ending. It's a dual ending. It's a dual genitive, which is Shashti Dvivachanam. And this word comes in Gita, by the way. Anybody, where does word Vibhavasu come in Gita? Anybody? Ushaji, maybe? No? 7th Adhyaya. Tejas Chasmi Vibhavasau. Tejas Chasmi Vibhavasau. See, most of the Vibhutis in Gita are in the 10th Adhyaya, sorry. But in the 7th Adhyaya also, there are some small Vibhutis coming in the Gita. And let's go to that for a second. There's a shloka there, Tejas Chasmi Vibhavasau. Vibhavasau comes in Gita, Saptami Ekavachanam. So if you had no Gita well, then no surprise over here, you already know this word, Vibhavasau. We go there. Tejas Chasmi Vibhavasau. Okay. Go down a little bit. Manushanam Sahasreshu Bhumira. Okay, here it comes. Here, I think somewhere here. Pranavasara. This is also small vibhuti is giving her in the 7th Adhyaya. Rasom apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayoha pranavasara vedeshu shabdah kepaurishandrisho punya. Here it comes. Punyo gandha prativyancha tejas chasmi vibhavasau. Vibhavasau. This is and this translation is down here, is that I am the brilliance in the fire. I am. So Vibhavasu comes in Gita. It is Agni Vachak Shabda. It means Agni. And it is a masculine Ukaranta Shabda, like Guruvat. It's a Guruvat Pratipadikam. So when we do the Vayu Vibhavasvor is declined masculine genitive dual. Shashti Dvivachanam. So that is definitely a compound with Vayu and Vibhavasu. Now also here, remember that when we talk about compounds, we have to ask about which one goes first, which one goes second in the compound. So refresh your memory, I think we've done this many times, but the way Panini does is that he says that samase, prathamanidishtam samase upasarjanam. So that which is indicated by the prathama vibhakti in the samasa vidhayaka sutram, that gets the name upasarjanam. And then upasarjanam purvam. Okay, upasarjanam purvam, so that will come first. So upasarjanam purvam is coming in 2.2, and that is the number 2230. So whatever is upasarjanam, that comes purvam. It comes as the first member of the compound. Now the other sutra which I gave you also is 1.2. So I'm not going into sutras in detail because we've done them before and will take a lot of time. But you can look them up. If you have any questions, of course, ask me. We'll go into more detail. It says, see, prathamanidishtam samase upasarjanam. So that is indicated by the prathama vibhakti in the samasa vidhayaka sutram. That becomes upasarjanam. Upasarjanam purvam. But now what happens in the dvandva compound, the sutram is anurutya of anekam is coming down. Anekamanya padarthe. So if you look at that one, Anekamanji Padhate. There is sutram called Charsya Dvandvaha. So for Dvandva, only one sutram in Ashtadhyayi. Charsya Dvandvaha. And now that Anuvritti of this Anekam is coming down from 2 to 24, I think. So basically many terms, many padas can be combined in the sense of cha artha, means A and B and C and D from a Dvandva compound. So now in a Dvandva compound, every item will have the sanya of upasarjanam, because the term Anekam is Prathamanidishtam, and so every term will have the upasarjana sanya. So this sutra, upasarjanam purvam, will not help you. Okay, Anuji has a question. Let me see.
No, I just joined. I wanted to say namaste.
Okay, namaste, Anuji. So now how do we decide then? And then Panini has these 3-4 sutras. It says Dvandve Ghi. So that which has a Ghi sanya will go first. Then Ajadyanantam. So which is Ajadi and Adanta will go first. Then Alpashtaram. Now, Alpashtaram is a later rule. It's a very important rule. Remember this one, Alpashtaram. Is that which has fewer vowels will go first, Alpashtaram. Because it's a later rule. It will overrule. So when there's a conflict with the prior rules, so only when we cannot, so what do we have? The reason I'm mentioning this Alpashtaram is that we have the compound of Vayu and Vibhavasu. Now, Vayu has fewer vowels. It has 2. Vibhavasu has 4 vowels. So they will, that's why Vayu is going first in the compound and Vibhavasu is coming second. So remember Sutram Alpashtaram. So in Dvandva compound and Bahuvrihi compound, all the padas have the sanya of upasarjanam. So you cannot tell which one will go first, just based on the sutra only. So you have to look at these, about 4 or 5 rules are there, which starting from this Dvandve, this from upasarjanam purvam, down to pretty much the end of the 2.2, these about 7-8 rules tell you which one will go first in the Bahuvrihi or in the Dvandva Samasa. Okay, so brief description. This all comes in Shastriji volume 4. If you look at the Dvandva section, you'll find that. But it's interesting to see, because you have so many Dvandva compounds. And in that, you see always, you can, there are only 3-4 rules you have to check. You can say very easy to practice these rules. You can check, does it follow this rule? Now, there's one very important Vartika Mandal Pashtaram, which says that which has more importance will also go first. So let's go to the Ashtadhyayi for a section. Let's look at this for a second. So 2.2.34 in Ashtadhyayi. If you look at it, you will see this rule. There's a lot of Vartikams here, 2.2.34. And there's one very important Vartikam which overrules everything else. So it says that, and it says Abhyarhitam cha will be there's a Vartikam here, Abhyarhitam cha. So that means that something which has more importance. So this is not a Vyakarana Vishaya. How do you know what is more importance or not? That goes first. So now when something, or when there's a logical order of something, that will go first. It says Mata Pitarau. So there, even though Mata, in the word Mata, you have one Guru Akshara and one Laghu Akshara. In word Pitru, you have both Laghus. Still Mata will always go first because of the importance factor. Now that is, of course, open to discussion. But, that is what it is there. So whenever these rules don't work, then you can come to Abhyarhitancha. If something was more important in the mind of the speaker, so he put that first. Of course, in our case, we don't have to worry about it because this Alpashtaram is going to work for us. Because the Vayu has fewer vowels and the Vibhavastu has more vowels. So that's one compound. Then similar Chandra Samudrayoho. Also a Dvandva compound. Here also look at it. Chandra has fewer vowels. Samudra has 3 vowels. So then, Chandra goes first, Samudra comes. So in this shloka, it works very well. That Alpashtaram is working very beautifully in this shloka. Is the Vayu Vibhavas 4 and Chandra Samudrayoho. If you look at the Tika, there is no commentary on these compounds. Because Malinatha doesn't say anything. Of course, he gives the Paryaya Shabda. What does he say? Vayu Vibhavas Voho equals Vata Vanyo Riva. vata vanyoho. So he's taking the word vata and vanyi. So he's just giving basically paryaya vachaka shabda. So he's giving instead of vayu, he's giving vata, and vibhavasu is giving vanyi. If you didn't know the word vibhavasu, no problem. Just come to the tika, it says vanyor. So you can expand your vocabulary like that. Of course, as I mentioned to you, it's already in the Gita, so you should know it already. But even if you didn't know it, you can see the commentary and you can see. But there's no commentary. He doesn't tell you that this is what the compound is. You can see when you say Rama Lakshmanau, Ramascha Lakshmanascha Rama Lakshmanau. You see, he didn't tell us Vayuscha Vibhavasuscha Vayu Vibhavas. So he didn't tell us that Vibhavasu. So he didn't make the Vigraha Vakyam for us because it means obvious. So when he doesn't give the Vigraha Vakyam, we should take the simple meaning that you can get. We should know it on our own. Same thing with the Chandra Samudra Yor, no commentary because we should know that. It's a simple compound. Okay? So after doing Padacheda, come inside the compounds. So Padacheda, because why is that? Because within the Samasa you have Padas. We have this Vayu has Pada status here. Because if you look at the Alaukika Vigraha will be what? Will be, let's go to our document for a second. The Alaukika Vigraha will be, you can say, the Laukika Vigraha will be Vayuscha, Vayuhu, Vayuhu, Cha, and Vibhavasu Cha, Vibhavasu Cha. This will be what's called a Laukika Vigraha. Means in normal language terms, you get to know what Vayu Vibhavasu is. But if you look at if you can convert the same thing into Alaukika Vigraha, we can get Vayu plus Su plus Vibhavasu, Vibhavasu plus Su. So, and then what we get is that the same sutra I mentioned before, which is the Supo Dhatu Pradipadika Yoho. Moment you have a Pradipadikam because of, this gets a Pradipadika Sanya because of Kruttadita Samasascha. Kruttadita Samasascha is Pradipadika Sanya, and then you get the Supo Dhatu Pradipadika Yoho, Supluk. So because the Sup has come and gone, we have Pratyaya Lope, Pratyaya Lakshanam. Pratyaya Lope, Pratyaya Lakshanam. So therefore this I'm sorry, this should be Vayu. Sorry, typo. Vayu has a Padasanya, even though it's inside the Pradipadikam. The Padasanya is not lost inside the Pradipadikam. Why is that important? Because we will need to do the Padanta Sandhi. So Padanta Sandhi will have to be done in the compound. Okay? Of course, there is no Sandhi over here because there's no Sandhi involved, but we'll need to do that. So when you do the Padacheda, it should come inside the compound and take out the Padas from there also. So here we have Vayu and Vibhavasu, and Chandra and Samudra. Okay, now what is a simple sentence is that? Is that Aikyam na bibidhe. That's a simple sentence. Aikyam na bibidhe. So the verb is only one verb in this, one tinganta only in this whole sentence, which is the bibidhe. Now bibidhe is that, oh Raja has come. Welcome Raja. You don't dial in now. So bibidhe is a lit lakara form. The tricky part about bibidhe is that it's a passive form. It's a passive form. Now, how do we know that, by the way? How do we know it's a passive form? Because what happens is that when you look at the sutram sarvadhatuke yak. Sarvadhatuke yak is only comes sarvadhatuke, as the sutra says. So if you look at, for example, if you look at like, bhavati becomes anubhuyate, right? So when you say, if you say apnoti becomes apyate. So that you see the yakara there, the ya, I shouldn't say yakara, the ya and the other pratyaya yak is seen. That's only sarvadhatuke. Now this lit pratyaya is a pratyaya which is ardhadhatuka, lit cha pratyaya. So you will not get this, you will not get the yak or anything like that in the, so only in 4 lakaras will you get the sarvadhatuke yak. Let me just go to that sutram. Sarvadhatuke yak will be 3-1 right before kartari shap is sarvadhatuke yak. And so that will only come in the lat, lot, lung, vidiling. So the general rule, you will not know in the other lakaras whether the form is kartari or it is karmani. But there's one thing which will tell you, which will give you the hint, is that in karmani or bhave, the pratyaya has to be an atmanepada pratyaya. And how do we know that? Because of bhava karmanoho. Bhava karmanoho. And that sutram is almost never violated in the language. Almost never. Of course, in Bhagavatam you have 1-2 places, but mostly it is not violated. As I mentioned to you, this 1.3 Padavashtadhyayi completely talks about when to use Atmanepada endings, when to use Parasmapada endings is covered in this 1.3. And it starts from this Anudattanyata Atmanepadam, from 1.3.12, Anudattanyata Atmanepadam. So if you ever have a question whether I should use the Atmanepada ending and the Parasmapada ending, this is where you should come. It's from 1.3.12 to end of 1.3. There are not. So first, there are many sutras telling when to use Atmanepadam. They go for a long time, and then Panini talks about what which become the Ubhayapadi that comes in between, and then finally you have Sheshat. See, here comes the Swaritagnatah Kartravipraya Kriya Phale. So that is one sutram which is used for the Ubhayapadi dhatus. And then you will have Sheshat Kartari Parasmapadam. So that's how this final rule is for Parasmapadam. So as a default, every dhatu will take the Parasmapada endings only because of 1.3.78. Sheshat Kartari Parasmapadam, which says only Kartari. So that's only Kartari. Now the one that we need right now is the Bhava Karmanoho, which is 1.3.13, which will make it Atmanepadam when you have Bhava and Karma, so when you have the passive usage. So that is one thing which you should watch out for. If you see something which is Atmanepadam and the dhatu is not an Atmanepadi dhatu, then that is the best way you can tell that this might be passive. And then you can look and see if it fits in the sentence. Unfortunately, in our case, we have a difficult situation. Why? Because if you look at our shloka, we have the word aikyam, which is a neuter form. And aikyam can be a prathama, can be dvitiya api sambhavati. So that makes it difficult for now, because we don't know whether aikyam is a prathama form or a dvitiya form. Because, of course, if this vibhide were to be passive, then aikyam should be prathama. But we don't know that for sure. The other thing is that when you have the karmani prayoga, the karta will go in tritiya vibhakti. For example, ramena vali hataha. Ramena. So when you see that karta in the tritiya vibhakti, that is also a very good sign to say you're on the passive usage. But here we don't have the karta, as he mentioned here. In this shloka, we don't have that. All Kaliyasa says is aikyam na vibhide. So unfortunately, we're not able to take the help of the karma being in prathama. So when we say ramena vali hataha, now vali is the karma. He is being killed by Rama. So he is gone to prathama. So when the karma goes in prathama, then you have to look for passive usage. And when the karta, if he is there, goes in tritiya, then you have to look for passive usage. Now either one of them may not be there. You can just say, idam maya pachyate. It's being read, maya uchyate. It's being said by me. But then you saw the word maya. That maya is because now I am the karta. I'm gone in tritiya vibhakti. So uchyate is going to be passive. So maya uchyate. But so if you can see the karma in prathama, we can see karta in tritiya, then in that case you will know that you're in a passive usage. And also then confirm that you have the Atmanepada. If it's not Atmanepada ending, it is not going to be passive. 99%, okay. So 99.9%, if you don't have Atmanepada ending, you don't have to worry. It's not going to be passive. But now, so let's come to our shloka. Now, aikyam unfortunately can be either prathama or dvitiya ekvachanam. It's a neuter noun like vanam vane vanani. And we don't have the karta over here. So now both of those are failing us right now. We can only rely on this ending, Atmanepada ending, this A ending. Now, but then finally come to the meaning. come to the meaning. What is the meaning? That their unity was never broken. The unity was never broken. So it was not broken, it's passive. The meaning is passive. So unfortunately grammar didn't fully give us the sure answer in this case, but the meaning will give you the sure answer. It's not like unity is breaking somebody else. Unity is not being broken. So it is passive usage. So again, one more time, in Atmanipada, in the bhave or karmani, you have to have the ending in Atmanipada. The karma should be in prathama. The karta will be in tritiya. Again, both may not be there, but if they are there, that's the way they should be. Most of the time, you will know. And then finally come to the meaning. Come to the meaning. Now in Gita also you have some shlokas, yajñātva mokṣase shubhat, karmano yapi bodhavyam buddhavyam cha vikarmana. I think we may have that in the 7th adhyaya. Let me just go to Gita for a section, for a second I should say. Okay, let's see. I think it might be coming here. It comes in 9th adhyaya, in the beginning. So you look at that one. Let's give a Gita example where it is not entirely clear whether it is karmani or kartari. But if you look at the meaning, it will be there. So, okay, here is the very first shloka of the 9th adhyaya of Gita. I say, Jnanam vijnana sahitam yajñātva mokṣase shubhat. Having known which, you will be released from evil. See, unfortunately here we got a panchami bhakti here. Panchami. You will be released from evil. He didn't give tritiya here. But mokṣase is Atmanipada ending. The moment you see Atmanipada, start thinking this might be passive. And look at the meaning. It's telling, oh Arjuna, you will be released from evil. It's not like you are releasing something. You see, if it were you are releasing something, then then ashubhat should be you can say you should say mokshasi ashubham. You will release evil. It could have been maybe that meaning, but that meaning will not be there. But here again, there is no pratyaya yak or anything. This mokshase, the pratyaya here is for the future tense. Chatasi lurutoho. So there is nothing here to tell you 100% this is passive. We don't know that. Dhatu much is there, guna has taken place, then you have this here pratyaya is coming, and this is the Atmanipada ending. So there's no way to tell 100% this is passive. But you look at, unfortunately, he hasn't even given here who's the karta and who's the karma. And you have only one panchami sitting here. But here also same thing. You look at the meaning. So having known this knowledge, you will be released from evil. You will be released. So this is passive. So that's the lesson. That's, I think, was the hard thing in this shloka, is to figure out that this one is a passive usage. Is a passive usage. Vivide. So that's the whole heart of the sentence, that it was that their unity was never broken. Let's quickly go through the rules for this one, deriving this one. Again, we won't spend that much time. Dhatu is bhid. Bhid is to become bhinatti. It's a 7th gana dhatu, but since we are talking about the passive, and first of all we're talking about lit also, so it doesn't matter what gana it is anymore. So dhatu bhid, when we take bhid plus lit, then we can see that, of course, we do the abhyasa karyam, liti dhatu anabhyasasya, liti dhatoho anabhyasasya. When lit pratyaya comes, dhatu takes abhyasa. So we get bhid, and abhyasa karyam, again to refresh your memory, all abhyasa rules except abhyasa charcha come at the end of 7.4. If you don't know, it's very easy to look them up. See, these section of Ashtadhyayi, see, this is where Ashtadhyayi will help you more to find a rule than Siddhanta Kaumudi. Siddhanta Kaumudi will not take all abhyasa rules in one place. He will take dhatu by dhatu by dhatu by dhatu. So he will only take those rules which are required for that dhatu. If you want to look up one specific dhatu, you should go to Siddhanta Kaumudi and find the answer quickly. If you want to look at all the abhyasa rules for all dhatus, you should come to Ashtadhyayi. So that's why you should have these two books with you at all times. You should look at the Ashtadhyayi Kramaha and the Siddhanta Kaumudi, the Prakriya Kramaha. So sometimes you can find the answer quickly here, sometimes quickly Siddhanta Kaumudi. which is that, so coming to 7 dot, I think I've mentioned this many times, but one more time, is that from this Atralopa Abhyasasya 7.4.58, Anuvrityam Abhyasasya goes to end of 7.4. Okay? And the first few rules are the Samanya Abhyasakarya, which means for all pratyas, not only lit, not only sun, not only shlu, for all abhyasas. And those ones you should know well. There are only like four or five of them. One is Rasvaha, Haladi Sheshaha, Sharpurva Khayaha, Kuhoshchuhu, and Urat. Only this much. 1, 2, 3, 1, so 59, 60, 61, 62, 66. These you should, because they give you a great bang for these will apply to all abhyasas. And that we can use one or, and then the important sutra which is not in this section is the Abhyase Charcha. That comes in 8.4. The reason it's coming in 8.4 because Panini wants to use Anuvrittis there, and that because the Jhalam and the Jash Anuvritti is coming down is available there. So Abhyase Charcha will be coming here, Abhyase, because the Jhalam, Jash is Anuvritti is available here. So rather than putting in the Abhyasa section and repeating this Jhalam, Jash again over there, Panini chose to put this one in 8.4. This is the one rule which is not in 7.4. It's Abhyasa Karya Vishayakaha Sutraha. It is not in 8.4. So Abhyase Charcha. Which one do we need here now? We need the Haladi Sheshaha, the Kara will go, and then the Abhyase Charcha, the Bhi will become B. So this become B. And then, so be with. Now only thing is that when you bring Atmanipada, you got Ta, Atam, Ja endings. Of course, first you do the Anubandha Lopa, then Lasya, Ta, Atam, Ja. So you get the Pratyaya Ta. Why do you bring in the singular? Because we talk about the Aikyam, which is the Ekavachanam. So that is going to demand the Ekavachanam. So because B, Bid, Ta. Now we go to the 3.4 where you get a direct substitution of Litas Tajayor Eshirej. Litas Tajayor Eshirej. Should repeat the sutra in your mind as many times as you can so you can remember them. So Punah Ucharanam Kartavyam. So you can get in the 3.4, there's many rules which are dependent on lakaras only. And these are all Nitya Karya. So nothing can stop these rules in the Lasyadikara. In the Lasyadikara 3.4.77, they should be done first. Nothing can stop them. Because they're dependent on the lakara only. It's Antaranga Karya, you see. See, because once the lakara comes, at that time itself, all these rules from 3.4.77, the Lasyadikara will apply. So you don't have to worry about what else is coming to the left-hand side. They don't depend on that at all. I mean, of course, these are all like rules like Thasas say, you know, but here is one. This which we use that 3.4.81, Litaha, Tajayor, Esh, Irech. Esh and Irech are the rules. This Tajayor, Esh, Irech. So, so now we get the Adesha, Esh. So individual Pani Sutras are very easy. Nothing. All this says is that Lit Sambandhi, when in Lit Lakara, when you have the Pratyaya Ta or Ja, which obviously is the Atmanipada, Prathama Purusha Ekavachanam and Bahuvachanam. In Yatha Sankhya, respectively, you get the Adesha, Esh and Irech. So this is what is coming. So for the Ta, you'll get the Adesha, Esh. Now why is the Talavya shows an It over here? The Adesha is coming is Esh. Now, okay, before doing that, let me put it like this. So we want to put the Esh Adesha here. Okay, I think this everybody knows the answer, right? Why is the Shakara and It here? Halantam, the Shakara, Talavya Shakara is an It. So what is the reason for that? Anybody raise their hand? I know many of you know the answer to this. Why is the Shakara and this Talavya Shakara and It in this Adesha Esh? Anuji, you know the answer to this. I know you know. No. Raja, you know the answer, right? Raja doesn't have his phone on, I guess. When? No? You try? Why is the Talavya Shakara and It in the Adesha Esh? Okay, I'll give you a hint. Because normally what you have...
Kalpesh, Sarvadesha?
Because to Kalpesh is here. By the Kalpesh, I want to introduce you to Ajit ji, who's on the call also. He's doing a lot of work in this, like, the sources on the web, like the dictionaries and all that compiling and everything,
I
which you
see.
have also done. So maybe after the call, we can send each other email, exchange some ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, so Kalpesh is right, because what you would have had is Alontyasya. Oh, Anuji also coming. Yes, yes. I knew she knew the answer. There you go. Yes.
Anekalshit Sarvasya.
Yeah, see, what you have is that no, that will not be Sutram, not that one. You're on the right track, but what is the exact Sutram you want over here? See, normally you would have had the Alontyasya. See, any Adesha only replaces the ending letter, Alontyasya. So, Antyasya alaha sthane bhavati. So that would have made us, what do we need? We want this entire ta shabda to go, and we want the a to come in. Now, if we didn't have this talavya shas and it should have become te, because only the ending a would have been replaced, because we have the ta which we have there is, the ta is equal to ta plus a. So if nothing else was mentioned, only this a will get replaced. We'd have had the form te, we'd given the wrong form. We want this entire ta to go. So sutra shitcha. Ushaji is coming in there. I think she found the answer. Ushaji, yes. Yes, Ushaji. Shitcha, right? That's what you're talking about? Okay, let's go to that section. Okay, let's go to here. Let's look at this section. Because what we have is this is the Alontyasya, Nitya, Adeparasya. Actually, no, Anuji was right. Anekal Shit Sarvasya, yes, correct. I'm sorry. Because the sutra says Anekal Shit Sarvasya, correct. So the Shit in the sutra, Anekal Shit Sarvasya. Going back to it, Anuji was right. Anekal Shit Sarvasya says that this, if you have Anekal, or Kalpesh also made the same thing, I think. So they were both right. So Anekal or the Talavya Shas and It when you have, that will replace the entire Sthani. The entire Sthani will be gone. So Anekal and Shit all, it's in the same sutram. I think a difference, but it's the same sutram. Anekal Shit Sarvasya. So that's correct. So if you have an Adesha which is Anekal, it has more than one al, which we don't have. We have only one al, which is A. All if it is Talavya Shas and It, which is what we have. Then we have to replace the entire Sthani. So 1155 will stop 1152 Alontyasya. So because the Shit, the Talavya Shas and It. So yes, Anuji is right, Kalpesh is right. Kshamyatam, so I was wrong, but that's the reason why. Anyway, that's why you need this Talavya Shas and It. Otherwise, only this A will be replaced. It would have become Te. But now the entire Ta Shabda is replaced. And Ajit also got the answer. Thank you. Anekashis Sarvasya, correct. Good. Okay, so that's how we get the A and become Vividhe. That's how the form we get. Finally, we get the Vividhe form. So the simple sentence again is Aikyam na kadashana Vividhe. One more thing is that when you have this na floating around, generally you connect it to the Kriya Padam. So it may not be next to it, but it connects to the Kriya Padam. But here, when you have these idiomatic combinations like na kadapi, na kadachana, na kaschana, na kinchita, then you should keep that as a unit. So aikyam na kadachana vibhide. So their unity was never broken. It was never broken. Now my favorite shloka, not to spend too much time, but in the second adhyaya of Gita, you have the interesting shloka over there, by the way, is that where you have this combination, so na kaschana, and it's actually it's interesting interpretation you can say. I think it's around Ashiravad Paschati Kaschidenam, Ashiravad Tathaiva Chanya. I think it's around, let's see, it's coming down here. The reason I mention this point is that because you have this same thing, this na coming there, Ashiravad Paschati Kaschidenam, Ashiravad Tathaiva Chanya, Ashiravad Chainam. Here it is. Okay, now, but this is one of the few shlokas in Gita where the meter has been not followed. See, Ashcharyavat Pashyati Kaschiddenam. 11 syllables, right? But then look at the next one. Ashcharyavat Vadati Tathaiva Chanya. That's just 12 syllables. This second second line of this shloka has 12 syllables. So unfortunately, meter has been broken in the Gita in about 3-4 places. I think mostly not in the Anushtup. I think Anushtup is not. One time Pushpadi went through the whole Gita, by the way, and find out which shlokas the meter is broken. This is one of them. Ascharya vad. If you try chanting, you see the tongue has a problem. Ascharya vad paschati kashchidenam. Then Ascharya vad vadati tahiva chanyaha. It doesn't go properly. Anyway, that's not the point I'm making. Look at the last line. Shrutva pyenam vedana chaiva kaschita. If you use the rule which I just gave you, what should we do? Is that Shrutvapi, even though having heard, na kaschana evam enam veda. So nobody knows this, even having heard. That means nobody knows this truth. Nobody knows. That's what the meaning you will get from this shloka if you do it like that. Because we have Shrutva api enam veda na cha eva kaschit. So what I just told you was, if you have this na kaschit, that forms like a unit. So you should generally not break that unit. Means nobody. But the meaning in the shloka will be not that good if you do that, because it says nobody knows this. But when you have this kind of situation, when you have an overriding reason, this happens very rarely. This is a very rare situation that you have in Gita like that. Means you say Shrutvapi kaschita enam na veda. So somebody, even having heard, does not know this. That's the meaning in the shloka most likely that you want. It is not like nobody knows this, but somebody does not know this, which is mostly you should, if you didn't know the context on the shloka, you should say na kaschita veda. Nobody knows this. Given the context, you have to say that Shrutvapi kaschid na veda. Somebody doesn't know this, even having heard. So that is a rare situation in Gita where the rule I'm telling you will not work. You have to break this connection to get the meaning. Because the meaning is the overriding. After all, this is a language. So ultimately, you want what is the abhipraya, what is the vivaksha of the speaker. That's what you want to know. But for the most part, 99%, 95%, you can follow this rule. You have this like na kadachana combination. Don't break it. So kada is kasmin kale. So kadachana means kasminshchit kale, means at some time. Na kadachana means never. It's an avya, kadachana avya. So aikyam kadachit na bivide. Their unity was never broken. And then we have this. Now we have some shashtis hanging around. As I said to you, shashtis can be taken later. We don't need to deal with them to get the main meaning of the shloka. So we have two shashti. We have tesham, which is shashti bahuvachanam. And dvayoho is shashti dvivachanam. Padipadikam is dvi. Padipadikam is dvi. But how does dvi become dvayoho? An important rule you can look at is that tyadadi namaha. Tyadadi namaha. Which you have any of these tyadadi pradipadikams, when the vibhakti follows, they get the akara as the adesha, alontyasya. So when the dvi becomes dva, decline it like sarva. So you don't have to do anything for the word padipadikam dvi. Just to know the one rule, tyadadi namaha, you can make dvi into dva, and then from then on, same rules as the pradipadikam sarva. The tyadani namaha is an important rule which we look at. So we have these two shashtis coming over here. One is tesham and then dvayoho. Now when you say this, when you have this tat shabda, yat shabda apekshate, it demands a yat shabda. So we don't have a yat shabda in this shloka. We don't have. So from the context we have to know who is the tesha. So who is he referring to? Tyadadi namaha is by 72102, just to give you the number. Tyadadi namaha is 72102. Tyadadi namaha. That's how the dvi became dva. And once you make it dva, then you follow the same rules as sarva. So 72102 is tyadadi namaha. And I mentioned I won't give too much grammar, but here I am talking about grammar again. But I think these rules are very fundamental rules that we should know. Tyadadi namaha. Okay. Anurutya vibhakto starts from prior here. See this ashtana avibhaktau. Vibhaktau comes down. Chadadi nama. Okay, so tesham is kesham tesham. He says, and look at what Malinatha says. Chaturnam. Chaturnam kumaranam. Dashrathasya putranam. Sandarbha jnayate. From the context, this can be only one meaning. Chaturnam, there are only four. There are no other four over here in the context. Is Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughnanam. So that is what we have to understand. That there is for the four, and he is giving us that because it is not in the shloka. There is no yat padam in the shloka. Tesham Chaturnam. So that's the first thing Malinatha is telling us, is that Chaturnam and of course Kumaranam. Second thing he's telling us, when you say Shashti, you should make a sambandha with something. When you say Mama Pustakam Ramasya Bharya, and so on, Bhagavataha Kirtihi. So there's already a sambandha with something. Most of the time, this Shashti Sheshe, there's a sambandha is involved. Where is the sambandha over here? It says Tesham Dvayoho. So you can say of the two, of the pair, among those four. That among, we have to supply that among. So he says Tesham Madhye. So he's supplying the word Madhye. So among them, this is understood. It's like an idiomatic Tesham where the word Madhye is understood. He says Senayor Bhayor Madhye. That word Madhye is already there. Even if it weren't there, even if it were not there, you can understand that. But here it is not there. So he's making so when the Shashti Sambandha is Spashta Sambandha Nasti, when no Spashta Sambandha, normally Malinatha will give you what the Shashti is connected to. So the Shashti, you have to find the Sambandha, and he says Tesham Madhye, among those four. Among those four, then Dvayoho he gives a commentary. And then among the two of them, or of the two of them. See, the Shashti Dvivachanam and Saptami Dvivachanam, the meaning is very close all the time, It's very close in meaning. So, you can take Saptami, you can take Shashti. Many times they will overlap a lot. But he says, Rama Lakshmana Yoho, that's the first Dvayoho. Second is Bharata Shatrughna Yoho, Cha iti arthaha. The first pair is Rama Lakshmana. Second pair is Bharata Shatrughna. That's why he's repeated Dvayoho, Divara Muktam. He's repeated it twice because the different he's talking about. So that's the connections. And then of course Aikyam. So this Dvayoho is connected with Aikyam. So that Shashti is connected with Aikyam. This one is connecting with this Madhye. So among all of them, the unity of the two, means Rama Lakshmana, and the other two, which is Shatrughna and Bharata Shatrughna, was never broken.
So
yes.
Will 2341 apply? Yatascha Nirdhanam in that Tesham?
Yes, Nirdhanam. When he's singling out somebody. Generally when you single out one person from a group,
I see.
You're taking all of them out,
Okay.
So that probably will not work that well. Because when you take out somebody like in the 10th Adhyaya of Gita, right, when you have, Sthavaranam Himalaya, when Bhagavan says, when Himalaya is only one, you're taking them all out. That probably won't work. That will also possibility is there, but it probably will not work that well over here.
Okay, thank you.
Now, next is the Yatha. So this is, again, the Kalidasa trademark, which is the simile in the second half, Yatha. So you have to supply the same Tingdanta Padam down here. So Bibidhe. So this Na Kadachana Bibidhe is always to be taken down here. In fact, the Aikyam Na Kadachana Bibidhe, that whole thing comes down in the second half. And you only have to connect, so there's a Yatha is given, because first is given the Vayu Vibhava Svoho, which is the connecting with this one Dvayoho. Second is the Dvayoho with the Chandra Samudrayoho. So just like the unity of the wind and fire, and that of the moon and the ocean is never broken. Similarly, their unity was never broken. Now, what are the similes you used for? So, Upamadvayasya Viprayaha Kaha Bhavati. Why has he? And then Malinatha will help us down here. Says, in fact, before that, he also makes a nice comment, by the way. Aikyam, he says, Aikamatyam. Aikyam. In fact, let's see where Aikyam comes from first. Where does the word Aikyam come from? You take the word Ekaha. So Eka is a Pratipadikam. And then to that you have to add a Tadita Pratyaya, which is you get this some kind of this Ya, which is going to come there. So we need that form. So Aikyam is Ekasya Bhavaha Aikyam. Oneness. Oneness was not broken. Now all these pratyas with Tasya Bhavaha come in end of 5.1 Ashtadhyayi. In Ashtadhyayi, if you look at the end of 5.1, you'll find the sutram Tasya Bhavastvatalav. Tasya Bhavastvatalav. And from that to end of, Apada Samaptehe, up to the end of that 5.1, are all these pratyas in that meaning, Tasya Bhavaha. So that is a very nice section that you can look at. Here it is, 51119. Tasya Bhavaha, Tasya Bhavastvatalav. From 51119 to end of, not that means only about 16, 17 sutras are there, which Panini has given. So the good thing about this is Tadyata. Tadyatam is a Maharanyam, is a wild jungle, right? Within that you have these small, nice sections, and one of them is this one, Tasya Bhavaha. So the two default Utsarga Pratyaya. Utsarga means the default Pratyaya is Tva and Tala. Tal, I should say. Tva and Tal. Because in Tal is Halantyam, only Ta Shabda Vashishyate. It says Gurutvam, Guruta, Mudhatvam, Mudhata. All these pratyas you have, which will not work. We want the word Aikyam. We want some kind of a Ya to come here. So now there is one here, Varna Dridadibhya Shancha. Then Gunavachana Brahmanadibhya Karmanicha. So these are the two sutras which gives this pratyaya Shain. The pratyaya Shain will want what we want. So there, let's go to those 51123, 51124. We can look at this. In fact, you can look them up. Now, one of these is the Dridhadi Gana is there, and a Varna Vachaka Shabda, like a color. So those two are here. And then Gunavachana, adjectives are down here, and also Brahmanadi Gana. That is, it can be karma also of that. So when you say, it says Purohitasya karma paurohityam. So that's also paurohityam is not the state of Purohita, but it is also the job of Purohita, his job. So paurohityam means Purohitasya karma is paurohityam. That's why these sutras are not grouped together, because in this Gunavachana and Brahmanadi Vyaha, you can get the karmanicha. It can be their job also, or it could be their state also. This one is only state of this. So one of these two you have to use to get the word Aikyam. So now, in fact, if you want, we can go there for a second. Is that it's the 51123? If you look at that one, 51123 is you want the pratyaya Shain to come. So 51123. Okay. See, he gives the word Varna. Varna Vachakam is like a word Shukla. Shuklasya Bhavaha Shauklyam. So you see that? So that's how it is. Karshnyam. Karshnyam means Krishnasya Bhavaha Karshnyam. So you get the word like, says whiteness or blackness. Then the Radibhya, Dardhyam. Then he gives all these, Shabd. He gives all these Pratipadikams, which can take this word. So in this, the word Eka may not be there. You may have to supply it. See, Tadita is not black and white. You have to supply. You have to supply sometimes. It may not be there. So now it can go to 124 and see if we can get any help over there. So you can that might probably work, because see, this is Gunavachana. Gunavachana means generally this is a slippery term. Gunavachana. It means generally they're adjectives which are not really, Kudanta Shabdas. They're adjectives which are not, so we will not include like past participles and stuff. Gunavachana will not include those. We say, so there, he says, Jadasya Bhava Jadyam. Klaibyam Asmagam of Partha, Bhavad Gita, right? Klaibyam Asmagam of Partha, Naitatva Yupapadyate. Klaibyam. Klivasya Bhavaha Klaibyam. So that is now all adjectives will come down over here. So here we can probably stick in the Eka Shabda here somewhere. So either this one or here it is. Eka Bhavaha. So I think ekabhava is given here. Maybe aikyam. So probably this one is probably the one that you want. It says ekabhava. It says ek is given ekabhava, though not the word eka. Anyway, these are two sutras that you have to use. Okay. So we get now to finish the angakaryam. You have eka plus ya. First of all, taditeshu achamadehe. In 7.2 is sutram which says that you have to do the adi vriddhi. Taditeshu acham adehe. The first vowel takes vriddhi in tadita. When you have a pratyaya which either has the cha varga panchama, the ta varga panchama, or the ka as an it. So kit, nit, nyit. Then you have to do the adi vriddhi. Taditeshu achamadehe. Taditeshu achamadehe. Here it is. Taditeshu achamadehe. The pratyaya that we have right now is the pratyaya is like this. It is the pratyaya is the shan. This so this as an it is demanding that you do the adi vriddhi. Taditeshu achamadehe. So then we get the word I. Now what can remove the akara over here, by the way? Anybody raise their hand? Well, what sutram is the, because we need the akara to go over here to get the word aikyam. Anybody remember the sutram for that? Raja knows it, but his phone is off. Kalpesh ji, what can get rid of this akara over here? Because we want the final form that we need is aikyam. We need the form aikyam. So we need this akara lopa to take place over here. Akara lopa to take place. How are we going to do that? Okay, I'll give you a hint. What we can do is that when you add any of these tadisa pratyas, tadisas are also part of the swadishu. Swadishu sarvanamasthane. Because swadishu start from the 412 to end of 5.4 is the swadi pratyas. Swadi. So not only the 21 that we are used to, but all taditas and all the three pratyas, they also are swadi. So when you add a pratyaya with tadita, you have to give the anga either a padasanya or a bhasanya. So first of all, swadishu starts from here, 412, so just all the way up to end of 5.4. So when you add tadita pratyaya, you should immediately come to 1.1470 and say swadishva sarvanamasthane. Swadishva sarvanamasthane, padasanya is default. Here it is, 1.417. Anga will get the padasanya by swadishva sarvanamasthane. Then the next sutra, yachibham. Yachibham. So if any pratyaya starting with a yakara or an ach, then we get the bhasanya. Now our pratyaya is starting with a ya, so we get a bhasanya. Now if we have a bhasanya, then all the bhasambandhi karyani, they are given in the 6.4, end of 6.4. Chaturtha, shashtasya adhyayasya chaturtha padasya charama bhage. At the end of the 6.4, we get the bhasya adhikara going there. So the moment you have bhasanya, come to the bhasya adhikara. Okay, now, can somebody tell me why is the akara going up? So there must be some sutra in this bhasya adhikara which tells us to remove that akara. Anybody? Raja knows the answer to this. It's not there. TV, Usha. How about Wayne? You want to try it, Wayne? Remember? Nobody? Okay. Sutra is yasyeti cha. Yasyeti cha is the sutram. Yasyeti cha. This sutram is 64148. Very important sutram, yasyeti cha. What does it say? Is that avaranantasya, ivaranantasya, angasya, lopasyat, tadite, bhasanyakasya, lopasyat, tadite, ikare cha pare. And this vritti I made up on my own, so don't take it exactly, but that's what the meaning is. If you have an anga, which is avarananta or ivarananta, which has a bhasanya, which is followed by a pratyaya, which is tadita, or the long e, three pratyaya e, then you get this lopasyat, alontyasya, that avarana or ivarana takes lopa. Now, for example, if you have a word like gaura becomes gauri, right? Gaura becomes gauri, so that you need this sutram, because otherwise you'll have to have ad guna over there. So gaura becomes gauri, you need this sutram. So the yasyeticha, 6148, you remove this akara and becomes aikya. So aikyam is ekasya bhavaha aikyam, so unity. And now, But then what did Malinatha tell us? Malinatha is saying it becomes Aikamatyam. So he changed that. What he did was instead of Eka, he replaced it with the word Ekamati. So Ekamati. So he made it instead of he changed it to the Ekamati. The same pratyaya he's using from up there, Shane only. Because physically they cannot be one, you see. In English when you say unity means it's implied mental unity, right? So he's making it clear. Aikyam means Aikamatyam. The same thing, the Aikamatyam. Instead of Eka, I took Ekamati. Means they were unified in thought, unified in in their thinking. They were one. In their understanding they were one. So he has replaced the Aikyam with Aikamatyam. So again he kept the same pratyaya, by the way. He didn't change the pratyaya. He only took out the Eka and make it Ekamati. So that's the reason why I went through all this thing to give you the details of that. So that's how he says Ekamatyam commentary. Now coming to the similes which are given, is Ekakaryatvam Samana Sukha Dukkhatvam Cha Kramad Upama Dvayad Labhyate. One more time. Ekakaryatvam, unity in action, unity in their deeds. Ekakaryatvam, that's the first quality. Then Samana Sukha Dukkhatvam, means they were always happy and sad together. Their joy and happiness went together. Samana Sukha Dukkhatvam Cha Kramad, respectively. Upama Dvayad Labhyate. So by the two upamas which are being given, we have to understand that their unity in action and their experiencing joy and sorrow at this together. And how does he say that? He says Sahajaha Sahakari hi vanher vayuho. Sahajaha Sahakari means a natural assistant. Sahaja means one who is born with something, means natural. Sahaja. Sahakari means who assists you, who works with you, Sahakari. He vanhe vayuho. So vanhe sahakari vayuho. So the wind is a natural assistant, a helper of the fire god. So that's why he has used the Vayu Vibhava Svor, because so he giving the Eka Karyatvam Jyotyate. They explain that they always work together. Sahajaha Sahakari hi vanher vayuho. So you should get used to read the commentary, because this Sanskritam we should know ourselves, okay? He's trying to make it easy for us in simple words. Of course, once in a while we may not know, but most of the time he's not going to use anything difficult down here. So this is he's going to make it easy for us. So all these words we should try to know on our own. Sahajaha Sahakari hi vanher vayuho. The second he gives, Chandra Vruddhau hi vardhate sindho. Chandra Vruddhau sati.
Satish?
So yes.
Just a little off-the-cuff question. When did Malinatha write this?
This is maybe not that old. I think this is maybe like about 300-400 years old. Not maybe something like that. Maybe 400 years old, 500 years old. Not like 1,000 years old.
For this kind of interpretation of the Upama, I wonder if there was any previous work, or it is his own, because I couldn't imagine how he's comparing these things. I didn't know what quality he was comparing.
Okay. See, we are only doing Vyakaranam here.
Right.
There are many grantha which are reported like Kavya,
okay.
Kavya Vimarsha. There are many of them,
Okay.
There are many Kavya, Vichara granthas are there.
Mm.
And because like Dandin has one, the Kavya Vimarsha, the Kavya, so which we are not studying.
Okay.
And in there they go into all the details of upamas.
Mm.
What upamas can be given, how they are given, what they mean, all these poetic devices.
Yeah, okay.
They go in great detail. So we are not doing that. So
okay.
For us it is more imagination.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the reason.
Okay.
So and there are also other commentaries in Raghuvamsham are also there, by the way. It's not the only one.
Okay.
So he also looks at other commentaries also he looks at.
Okay.
And also you got to think, why is Upama being given, So you have to come to some good reason for that. So, so Chandra Vruddhau Sati, hi vardhate sindhu. So only when the moon is waxing, then the ocean also expands. Tat kshaye hi kshiyate iti. So tat kshaye means Chandra kshaye. Is sindhu kshiyate. Is when the moon is waning, the ocean also wanes. That's how it became. They become means So this is Vardhanam is like, Sukha Lakshanam. They become, it's like happiness and then the joy. So that's how the reason for two similes. Let's go to Devadarji, see what translation he has given. Okay, the unity is aikyam of either pair, means dvayoho, was never broken. Never is the na kadachana. Broken was bibidhe, was never broken. Okay, he didn't give translation of the word tesham. So this I think is not translated. You should probably supply it here. So among them, or of them, or among them, you can say. So that we have to supply here. Okay. Like is the yatha, the two yatha. The union is aikyam again supplied down here. Wind and fire is vayu vibhavasvoho, or the moon and ocean is chandra samudrayoho. So it's pretty straightforward shloka, but still builds your vocabulary. A little bit more practice with lakaras. Bibide was a passive form. You got the word aikyam, you got the tadita form, tasya bhavaha tatalau. So we got a few things in this shloka, and also the poetry about the similes. Okay, let's do the next one. Te prajanam prajanathaha tejasa prashrayena cha. Te prajanam prajanathas tejasa prashrayena cha. When you read too fast, what happens is that shra becomes sha only. So it becomes prashrayena. Prashrayena cha. It's very important to read slowly, clearly, loudly. That itself is one of the best things you can do. Keep on reading slowly, loudly, clearly. You will slowly gather a lot of knowledge with no mistakes because you're only reading loudly, not doing anything more. Te prajanam prajanathas tejasa prashrayena cha mano jahrar nidagante nidagante Shamabhra divasa iva mano jahrar nidagante Shamabhra divasa iva. One last time. Te prajanam prajanathas tejasa prashrayena cha mano jahrar nidagante Shamabhra divasa iva. So for the cheda will be te prajanam prajanathaha tejasa prashrayena cha manaha jahruh nidagante shamabhraha divasaha iva. Shamabhraha divasaha iva. So of course here you have the vo bhagoga purvasya yovashi, and then hali sarvesham, and here you have the lopashlakalyasya coming, visarga sandhi, which you all know. Let's go inside the compounds now. So here we have the prajanathaha. Any commentary, when you find a compound, go to the commentary and see what the commentary has to say. All he gave is, he has given no commentary. Only commentary he gave is te equals kumaraha. Okay, so that all. He has given no commentary on prajanathaha. So take the simple route. Prajana nathaha. So they are the leaders or the caretakers or the masters of society, of the public, of the people. Those masters or leaders of the people. So prajanam nathaha. When you have a simple Shakti Purusha compound, you're not going to get a commentary. So that's the most simple, straightforward compound. So prajanam nathaha. Okay? That's one compound. So we have the word praja and natha inside there. And then we have nidagante. Any compound there? It says grishmante. That is a compound. So he's replacing nidagha with the word grishma. So expand your vocabulary. Nidaga can mean grishma. So and again, no commentary on the compound itself. Just he's telling you nidagha means grishma. This is how you expand your vocabulary. You know simple words, and then you go and read the commentaries. You can expand your vocabulary. The word grishma we should know. Okay. If this word, if you don't know in the light, in what is in the commentary, that you should try to remember those words. Okay. Now this you may not know. Nidagha you may not know. Doesn't matter. You have the commentary. You can look at the word Grishma very quickly. So, and you also know commentary on the compound. We see from the context is also Shashita Purusha compound. Nidaghasya, Nidaghasyante, at the end of summer. At the end of summer. Straightforward compound, no commentary. Then he comes to the Shama Braha. So we have Shama, means it's a Varnavachaka Shabda, means gray or dark. Abhra. Abhram is like Vanavat, and it is a cloud. Shama Meghaha, Krishna Meghaha. Now there he gives the Vigraha Vakyam. Shamani, Abhrani equals Meghaha, Ye Shamte. As I mentioned to you last time, within the Vigraha Vakyam, he will give you also the Paraya Vachaka Shabda. He'll give you the simile also. He'll give you the vritti inside the compound. Because if you just want the Vigraha Vakyam, it's only Shamani, Abhrani, Ye Shamte. That's the Vigraha Vakyam. But inside that he has put the Abhrani equals Meghaha. Okay. So see, a lot of times what they will do is that if the word like Nidhaga may have multiple meanings maybe, then what they will do is that they will pick out the meaning that you want in this context. Okay. That's also reason sometimes why they might give a meaning, because that word may have many meanings. Bahava artha sambhavanti. So, but asmin sandarbhe kaha prayoktavyaha, which one you want to use over here? So for that they will give the word also. Anyway, here this ye shamte, you mentioned many times. You look at this. This is the formula for bahuvrihi. Yasyate. We have yat and tat being used in the Vigraha Vakyam. Yat and tat together tells you bahuvrihi. Ye shamte. So they were those is qualifying divasaha. So they were those days which have dark clouds. So days of dark clouds. So this is a bahuvrihi. No, this was not that straightforward. That's why we given the Vigraha Vakyam is given to us here. And then Shama Abhraha, that he's finished that, and that's also Shama and Abhra. So that's the Padacheda is done now. But simple sentence is what? Again, look at you can also follow the train from he's also done the Padanvaya for you down here. Prajanathaha te tejasa prashrayena nidhagante shamabhraha divasa iva prajanam manojahruho. So he does, the Padanvaya is given to you by Malinatha. So don't have to scratch your head too much. Already down here. One more time. Prajanathaha te tejasa prashrayena cha nidhagante shamabhraha divasa iva prajanam mano jahruho. So simple sentence is that look at the Tingantam Padam. Simple, I mean, you should look at Tingantam and then try to find the subject, maybe the object. At least look at this. So you start with the Tingantam. Jahruho. Means Ru is to take away. Means also might mean to abduct, but it means to captivate. So captivated. So somebody captivated something. Jahruho. Subject is here. Te kumaraha. And he has again the same thing as I said to you before. Because tatpadena, we have to have the tatpadam yatpadam suchayati. We have to have the yatpadam, which is not there. So that is why he's going to tell you that te equals kumaraha. So those princes, they captivated. Captivated what? Manaha. So manaha jahruho. If I look for what he puts subject, object, verb. Subject, object, verb. So te is coming first, then comes the manaha, then comes jahruho. Normally he will put the object for you right before the verb. He'll put the object for you. If you don't know, just kind of look in the Padanvaya, you can try to make sense out of it. So mano jahruho. So te equals kumaraha, mano jahruho. So they captivated the minds. That's a simple sentence. And then we can go and look. So let's, if you want to, before we do that, if you want to quickly do the form jahruho, and not going through all the sutras again, because dhatu is r, it becomes harati. Tasya harti prajnam comes in Gita. So Vayurnam Vamvasi. Vayurnam Vamvasi. Comes in first Adhyaya. Indriyanam charatam. Indriyanam charatam yanmanonu vidhiyate. Tasya harti prajnam Vayurnavam Vamvasi. So when one roams around, Indriyanam charatam yanmanonu vidhiyate. So when whose mind is engrossed in the sense object, Tadasya harti prajna, it takes away his intelligence. His understanding is captured, like the wind is captured by the wind. Like the boat is captured by the wind. Vayur navam ivam bhasi. So comes in Gita, second adhyaya. So same thing here, dhatu ru, only different lakara. So ru plus lit is what we start with, and then we, as you mentioned in the last thing also, we read liti dhatu anubhyasasya. Liti dhatu anubhyasasya. So do the abhyasa karyam. So we duplicate this one, become ru. Let's quickly go to the section which we saw before, end of 7.4. What sutras can we find? And there you'll find the sutra which says urat. Urat. In the abhyasa bhaga, if you have a ru varna, that becomes the akara adesha. Then uran raparaha. Uran raparaha. We'll make it into har. So this urat is coming, which I mentioned these 5 rules to you, right? Rasvaha, haladi sheshaha, sharpurvashtayaha, kuhoshchuhu, and urat. Urat is the one that we want to use here. And then uran raparaha becomes har. I know most of you already know this, but anyway, just do it a couple more times. Becomes har. And then again haladi sheshaha becomes ha. Then kuhoshchuhu. Kuhoshchuhu. Abhyasa, the hakara becomes the cha varga. Because hakara is a mudu varna, it's a mahaprana, we're going to get the ja. And then abhyase charcha. Get the ja. There's also something you can do, very nice practice, the abhyasa rules. You can double check the dhatus. If you suspect the dhatu is ru, the abhyasa should check out. You should get the jakara in the abhyasa. Ja shabda, I should say, in the abhyasa. If it doesn't check out, something is wrong. That dhatu is not ru. So you can try different dhatus, see if the abhyasa checks out. That's a good way to, because if you see a complicated form, you can always try to check the abhyasa bhaga. And later, of course, you get the tip tas ji. Because we're talking about the pratham purusha bahuvachanam, you're going to get the ji, and then you get nal atus us from the us. And that's the yand sandhi only between the iko and a chi, between the ru and the u is iko and chi. Because see, in dhatus only the e varna and u varna take yang and uang. Here we have the ru. There's going to be no problem here, so you don't have to worry about the arshana dhatu bruvam. It will not come into play because we don't have the e varna or u varna. We only have the ru varna over here. So we don't have to worry about the 6-4. 77, I think it is. Yeah. I'm sorry, 6477. 6477, this Achishtun Dhatu Bhruvam, but Yuvor, only E Varna, U Varna only, become Iyang Uvang, so that doesn't affect us. Also, just to refresh your memory, the Nal Atus Us is again Nitya Karyam in the Lasya Adhikara. I mentioned to you before in the class today, Lasya Adhikara, you don't have to wait for anything. The moment that Lakara is there, you can happily go and do all the sutras of Lasya Adhikara. It says, Parasmi Padanam, Nal Atus Us, Thal Atus, Nal Vamaha. So that's we got the Us Pratyaya there. Okay, so Jahru means they captivated, they took away. Let's see the remaining shloka now. So, Te Kumaraha, no Prajanam Prajanatha. This is a little bit of poetry going on here. Prajanam Prajanatha. So they were the, Prajanatha normally means like the kings, Even though it means like the masters of the people, it means like the rulers or the kings. The rulers of the people. So Prajanam is clearly Shashti, and is the Sambandha is right there, so nothing very, very much. And he says, there is, no, see, I was
Prajanam
wrong.
goes with Manaha, right?
Yes.
Right.
You're right, because see, Prajanam, no, look at this one now. Prajanam is Shashti Bahuvachanam. Now from the placement, from looking at the placement, it should be Prajanam Prajanathaha. Now Malinatha says no. He takes it down. Prajana mano jahruho. Why? Because the reason is that even though placement-wise, it is definitely should connect with Prajanatha. But look at the meaning. Well, what do you mean? Prajanatha means what? The masters, the leaders of the people. You already have Prajanam Natha in the compound. So make it Prajanam Natha probably will not make much sense. Okay. So my interpretation was not very, even grammatically though okay, not very good in this context. And again, Malinatha gives the answer to us. Prajanam manaha. So here, mana is coming way down below. But still he's saying connected down there because of the meaning. The meaning overrides. The placement is not important here. So the sambandha is not obvious in this case. And even though it looks like Prajanam Prajanatha, which Prajanam Manaha is the sambandha. Okay, so that's the Shashti. And then we have to Tritiyas. Tejasa Prashrayena Cha. This is probably Karanarthi Titiya. These are by means of their brilliance. Tejas is brilliance. Prashrayaha is going to be in humility. So now, does he give any commentary here? Yeah, he says here, Prashrayena is Vinayena. If you don't know the word Prashri, you can take it to be Vinaya. Vinayena. Prashraya and then Vinayena. And then Tejasa is Prabhavena. So by their glory, their brilliance, by their stature, you can say maybe, and by their humility. So by means of these two, they captured the minds of the people. The simile is coming now. So now, what connects both ways? This Prajana Manaha connects both ways. So Prajana Manaha Jahruhu connects both ways. Is that they, and he says, and now look at the commentary also. We'll look at it in 1 second, but let's look at this one. So just like the days at the end of the summer, Nidagasya Ante, at the end of the summer, this is of course Adhikarani Saptami, simple Saptami here, Shama Abhraha, so which have the dark clouds. We already saw that one. Shamani Abhrani equals Megaha Ye Shamte. So those which have dark clouds, qualifying Devasaha. So now let's go to the top half. So Te Kumaraha must be like the Devasaha. So the Devasa is compared to massive bhaktis. Devasa is Prathama Bahuvachanam with an adjective. And they also have Prathama Bahuvachanam. Again, the Vachanam may not match. The Vachanam Lingam may not match, but the Vibhakti will match. So Te is same as Divasa. So they are like the days. And then why is this simile being given? Because the comment that Malinatha makes is Nati Shitoshnaha Ityartaha. So these days are not too hot, not too cold either. So now why is he saying that, brother? Nati Shitoshnaha. Because of this Tejasa Prashrayena Cha. The Tejas is like the heat, the brilliance, the glory. So they were very powerful, very glorious. Prashraya is like the coolness that they have, their humility. Humility is like their coolness. So that is why Malinatha is saying, Nati Shitoshnaha Ityataha. So we have to justify this, right? Justify this, that these two adjectives are being given there. I mean, not adjectives, but these two, in the instruments are being given because it says, Nati Shitoshnaha. See how beautifully he comments on that. Is that these days are neither too hot nor too cold. Similarly, Rama, Lakshmana, etc., they were very powerful, glorious, but at the same time they were also very amenable, very, very, very humble, down to earth people. Do we miss anything here? Of course, the Iva is the simile, Divasaha is masculine, nominal, plural, Shama Abhra is the same thing, Nidhaganti, we already did that. So that's the shloka, and again, this is where Kalidasa excels in the Upamas. That's how he comes up with all these similes, which you could never even think of all these things. That's how we come out with this. I think we have time for maybe one more shloka at least today. Let's do at least one more. Let's see, maybe at least one more. The Chaturdha Babhau Vyastaha प्रसवः पृथिवीपतेः स चतुर्धा बभौ व्यस्तः
Muted.
पृथिवीपतेः स चतुर्धा बभौ व्यस्तः प्रसवः पृथिवीपतेः धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणाम् अवतार इवांगवान् धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणाम् अवतार इवांगवान् धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणाम् अवतार इवांगवान् स चतुर्धा बभौ व्यस्तः प्रसवः पृथिवीपतेः धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणाम् अवतार इवांगवान्. One last time. स चतुर्धा बभौ व्यस्तः प्रसवः पृथिवीपतेः धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणाम् अवतार इवांगवान्. I'm repeating it many times because this really helps. Really helps to get the words, get the feel for the language. And also get the meaning. Also, it'll come slowly. Okay. Now look at the padacheda. We'll do saha. Chaturdha is an avyaya. We're going to come to that. Babhau vyastaha prasavaha prithvipatehe dharmartha kama mokshanam. This is samasta padam. It's samasa. Avataraha iva angavan. Avataraha iva angavan. Of course, you visarga sandhi you have sasajusho roho, and then you got the bho bhago purvasya yo shilopashakarlasya purvatra siddham. You don't get the further sandhi from that. Just like Arjuna Vacha, same sandhi. Dhritarashtra Vacha, same sandhi over here. Okay, let us try to go inside the compounds now. Chaturdha, is that a compound? It is not a compound. Because Chatur is Pratipadikam, but the Dha is a Pratyaya only. There is no other Pratipadikam inside there. There is nothing else there. Only a Pratyaya is left behind. Chaturdha, so it's not a compound. Vyastaha, technically that is a compound because V plus As, V Astaha. So that is technically, it is a Gati Samasa. That one also is Gati Samasa. So is Prasavaha. The Prithvi Patehe is a compound. Any commentary on that? He said Dasharathasya. That's the commentary on that. Prithvi Patehe Dasharathasya, of Dasharatha. Now, again, he didn't really give us the Vigraha Vakyam. He just gave us a Paryaya Shabda. So means we have to take the simple route. Is that Prithivyaha Patehe, of the Lord of the earth. This is a very kind of Rudi Shabda. Prithivata means Rajnyaha, of the king. So that's why he gave no commentary. Very simple, straightforward. Prithivyaha Patehe. Anyway, we'll come to some grammar on that, but that's the compound. Prithvi is a padam and Pati is a padam. Prithvi Patehe Dasharathasya. Okay, this one is Shashti Tatpurusha. Okay, that one. This one is clearly a Bahuvachanam. You can see that Bahuvachanam. Dharmata Kama Mokshanam. Shashti Bahuvachanam. That's most likely going to be a Itaretra Dvandvaha. Itaretra Dvandvaha. So Dvandva is because you see that Bahuvachanam being used, and from the meaning also is kind of obvious. No commentary. No commentary. Dharmartha Kama Mokshanam, there's no commentary. That means it's probably going to be something straightforward. So it's a Dvandva, Itaretra Dvandva. So Dharmascha, Arthascha, Kamascha, Mokshascha, Dharmartha Kama Mokshaha. Dharmartha Kama Mokshanam. Now this is what I was talking about in Dvandva Samasa. Which one goes first, which one goes second? We have Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. They each have two ach. They're both dvyach. All of them, all four of them I should say, not both. Now which one goes first? We can see which one has Guru Akshara, which one has Laghu Akshara, all that. But in this particular case, that Abhyaritam Cha will overrule everything. Because there's a logical order in this, which is well accepted, well known. So that this Vyakaranam will not help you in this case. Even if they were not the same number of ach and all that, that all will be overruled by this thing. So when it comes to like that, you cannot look at Vyakaranam. Because Abhyaritam Cha, what Katyayana says. So what is more important goes first. Now again that said is you have to go by the context, go by what is the meaning. Aparani dharma leads to kama, artha leads to kama, kama leads to moksha. There's a progression involved over there. When you have the progression like that, you cannot look at the grammar rules. So for who goes first, who goes second. Second Gita. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanu darshanam. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. So there also is a little bit of some progression involved over there. Okay, so now this one is itaresa dvandva mokshanam, and then this angavan is not a compound because anga and only vatu pratyaya is here. Angavat. This is not a compound. We have only really two compounds, Prithvi Patehe and Dharmarthika Mokshanam. Of course, Vyasta and Prasava can be Gati Samasa, we can take there also. Okay, simple sentence. Go for the verb. Go for the verb. Go for the verb. Tingantampada is Babhau. Babhau. It appeared. It shone. It looked good. It looked like. Could be Babhau. Very first shloka of Ramayana Sundarkandam. For 10 years ago when we started Sundarkandam in the Bridgewater Temple class, we are now on the last page, almost 10 years. So remember 10 years ago we had this term Babhau. So Hanuman shone when he was sitting on that, or I should say crouching on that mountain to jump to Lanka. What he looked like comes the word Babhau. So anyway, this Babhau comes in Gita Dadmau. Shankham Dadnau Pratapavan. So Bhishma blew his conch. Dhatu is Dma. So similar form. If you look at Gita first Adhyaya, you have all three forms. You have the singular, dual and plural of the lit lakara parasmapadam. So you have all three forms. Go to them quickly so if you want to remember those endings from Gita, you can go to that one. I think Shankham Dadnau Pratapavan. Then you have Madhavas Pandavas Chaiva. That also you have the Dadmatuhu you have there. And then Shankan Dadmuf Prutak Prutaka. So let us go to that one for a second. Just tell you where they are. This is exactly the same grammar as you have over there. Okay, here you will have the Maheshwasa. Okay, here is the one. Here you have the first one. You get the here Dadmau. Dadmau comes in 12 shloka. So Pitamaha Shankam Dadmau. So Bhishma Deva, he blew his conch. Dadmau, that's the Ekavachanam. And then comes the Divachanam comes a bit later. Padadmatuhu. This is Madhavas Pandavas Chaiva. The two of them blew their individual conches. And then comes the last one, which is the Shankan Dadmuf Prutak Prutaka. That's the Bahuvachanam. Okay, so now only one sutra we need really over here, which dhatu is bha. Bha is there are two dhatus. One is bha and one is bhas. They have similar in meaning. Bhas also is to shine, to appear, and bha. But bha is second gana, becomes bhati. It's a parasmapada dhatu in second gana, becomes bhati. Other becomes bhasate. Bhasate also means to shine. That comes in the Gita shloka, the famous shloka, right? The atom bomb shloka. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yugabadutthitha Yadi Bhas Sadrishi Sasyad Bhasastasya Mahatmanaha. That Bhas is coming from the Dhatu Bhas. But here we don't have that. We have the, because this is also Parasmapada, we can see it. So we can do Abhyas, skipping some steps. You do Abhyasa Karyam. So we do Ba Bha, and then you put lit, and then, see, lit Pratyaya is a Pratyaya which is Ardha Dhatuka. So you don't get Kartari Shap. Sutram, Litcha Sutram makes it into Ardha Dhatuka Pratyaya. So if you at the end of 3.4, Sutra called Litcha is there. Here Litcha. Because Ardha Dhatukam Shesha, Litcha. If you don't get Shap, Shap only comes Kartari, I mean the Sarvadhatuke. So you get the tip, and then you get the null atus us, which becomes null. Instead of tip, you get null, and then you get we have to get it becomes au, ata au nalaha. In the meanwhile, in the abhyasa bhaga, you do rasvaha, abhyase charcha, becomes ba bha, then ata au nalaha, ata au nalaha. This is going to come in 7.1. Why 7.1? Because pratyaya adesha it is. प्रत्ययादेशः तत्रैव गृह्यन्ते सप्तमस्य अध्यायस्य प्रथमपादस्य पूर्वभागे. In the first part of the 7.1, all the pratyayadeshas come. And that's where you can see this ata au nalaha. First Panini covers mostly all the sup adeshas, and then he will go to the some other adeshas, and here is 7.134 ata au nalaha. So when you have the adanta anga, then this nalaha, this shashti, becomes au. Then vriddhi rechi, ata au nalaha. So that's the sutram. So sutram here is ata au nalaha. Okay. So that's the form babhau we got. Now, so what is the subject of that? We want to look something in the singular, right? So prasavaha, the progeny. Prasavaha is progeny. What does Mullinatha say? Santanaha, the progeny. Tan is to stretch. Santan is progeny, that which you stretch your lineage, becomes Santanaha. So the progeny, whose progeny? Prithvi patehe prasavaha. Prithvi patehe prasavaha. And you can see the connection being made here in the commentary. Prithvi patehe prasavaha. So the progeny of that Lord of Master of the earth, means the king. His progeny, appeared or shone. And what did it look like? It appeared fourfold, Chaturdha. So let's go to Chaturdha. Before let's look at Prithvi Pateh for 1 second. If you look at the Pati Shabda on its own, it should become Patyuhu. Should have become Patyuhu. So now how does this become Patehe? If you look at Shabda Manjari and if you look at Pati Shabda, it becomes Patyuhu. Why is that? So let's go to because what is Sutra appearing is happening here is Gher Niti. Gher Niti, the Ghi Sanya, you can get the Guna and then Nyati Nato becomes Patehe. So now so this has taken a Ghi Sanya, like this has become like Hari Shabda, Harehe. But then let's go, this Pati has a special sutram for it. Only in Samasa it becomes like Hari Shabda. Otherwise it becomes Patyuho. Now all this Nadi and Ghi that I think beginning of 1.4 is a bunch of rules. This will all be covered in Bhaimi volume 1, of course. And here it is, see Patihi Samase Eva. See, one Panini clearly says Patihi Samase Eva. So only in a compound we get this Ghi Sanya for Pati. So even though Pati on its own become Patyuho, in a compound become Patehe. Of course, sometimes, like you have, like you say, Sitayaf Pataye Namaha. This comes in the Rama Raksha Stotram. Sitayaf Pataye Namaha. Now, how is that now? This is not a compound over there. Sitayaha is Pruthak Padam. Pataye Namaha. But there, you have to somehow understand it's like a compound. It's like a compound to become Patehe. So once in a while, even the compound may not be there, the someone that is directly present over there, they might use it like that, okay? But anyway, for us, we do have the compound, so this Patihi Samase Eva, okay? So that's how we escaped the exceptions. Became like Hari Shabda, became Prithvi Patehe. So Chaturdha. Now here Mullinatha is very kind to us. He gives this sutram. This he need not give. Because this is a very common pratyaya. I guess not that common. It's in Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi also. Normally, you see, whatever is in Laghu, straightforward words he will not give normally. But he has given anyway. Sankhyayaha vidharthe dha 5342 ityanena dha pratyaha. See, very kindly he gives it to us. Whatever Sutra Mullinatha gives, we have to look at it, understand clearly why he's giving that. And it's an important sutram. He's not going to give us something which we don't need. So Sankhyayaha vidhartheda. So when you have a Sankhya Vachaka Shabda, it is Chatur in this case, Chatur. And then you get the Vidharthe, means Vidha means like Prakara. Chatur Prakara means then four kinds or fourfold. In that meaning, you get the Pratyaya Dha. As I mentioned to you in Yara Pratyaya, you should know what Prakriti is going to take it. What is the Pratyaya? In what meaning? Luckily in this Sutram, he's given us all three. He says Sankhyayaha. So following a Sankhya Vachaka Shabda, which is Chatur is that. So that's Prakriti. Which Prakriti can take it? Only a Sankhya Vachaka Shabda can take it. In what meaning? Vidharthe, the sense of that kind, or so. And then the Pratyaya Dha means of four kinds, fourfold. So that's the 5342 Sutram kindly has given for us. You can look up Jesus. This will come in Shastriji volume number 5. If you want, you can look at it. But it's very simple. Chatur, that's the good thing about Sadhitas. Angakaryam Saralam Bhavati. Saralam is straightforward. So Sadhitas has lot of sutras, 1000 sutras, but the Angakaryam is easy. In Tingantas, it's reverse. You can have the simple sutram, but then you have to do the Angakaryam a lot. So like we saw in Babhav, we had to do the Atav Nalaha, we had to do the Abhyasa Charcha, we had to do this, the Rasvaha, the Kartari Praptaha, Tasya, then you Litcha Sutram, like we have to look at 10 sutras. Here nothing. Chatur plus Dha, Chaturudha. Finished. You go to Supluk only have to do. That's it. Chaturudha. Okay, so you see, so and that is an Amvyaya, by the way. Taditascha Sarvibhakti is because an Amvyaya. So this comes. So it is like an adverb to this kind of an adverb to this one, this shown. So that progeny of the king, which was actually I take it back. Chaturdha Vyastaha. It is that if I look at the Padanva which Mulinatha has done for us, Saha Prasavaha Chaturdha Vyastaha. See how beautifully he has done. He's already given us that this should connect with the word Vyastaha, which was distributed in 4 ways. Vyastaha means dhatu us this is not asukshepane, means to throw. Asta means like thrown down. Vyastaha means like distributed, arranged or arrayed. Or Vyastaha, or maybe it can also mean maybe it can also mean dispersed or diverged, dispersed. So it was distributed in 4 ways, in 4-fold distribution. So which had a 4-fold distribution. So that's why it's connecting Chaturdha Vyastaha. So the Padanva is very beautifully done for us over here. Chaturdha Vyastaha. And then Prithvi Patehe Prasavaha. Again, Shashti connection he has made for us also. So the progeny of that king. And of course comes this simile down here now, the Iva. Iva is the simile marker, Iva or Yatha. So Iva. And what is simile here now? And he says, Angavan, he says, Murtiman. Dharmartha Kama Mokshanam Avataraha. So you take the Chaturtha Bhavav. He has done that for us. He has repeated the word Chaturtha down here. He says Chaturtha Angavan. He has made it down Chaturdha. I'm sorry, I keep Chaturdha Angavan. So Chaturdha is the 4-fold. So it was as if the Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha had taken a physical form, embodied 4-fold. So embodied 4-fold. So he's repeating the word Chaturdha on both sides. Upama Upamaya is taking it both ways. Babhav goes both ways also. Because Avataraha is compared to Prathama Vibhakti, illa Prasavaha. So the descent, it was as if there was a descent of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And that descent is like the Prasavaha. And Chaturdha is 4-fold. Babhav is the, by the way, I think I said something wrong. This dha is not prakara vachane. Prakara vachane you have to use the pratyaya thal. I think I said by mistake prakara vachane. That's different sutram. Like yatha, yena prakarena. This is only vidha means like 4-fold, okay, in 4 forms. So not in that manner, something like that. So okay. So avataraha, then Angavan is qualifying avataraha. So it says Angavan means like Murtiman. It's like it had taken an actual form, actual shape. So embodied. And then Dharma, Artha, Kama, Mokshanam is, no commentary on that. Maybe you can come with Prithvi Pate. You can see the Shashti down here, Shashti up here also. So maybe he had Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha in him, and this was his progeny. And that's how it expressed itself in this 4-fold form. So let's look at the, do we leave anything? Prasava Dhatu is Su, by the way. Suvati Sacharacharam. Suvate comes in Gita. Suvati Sacharacharam. So Prasavaha means that which is produced which is given birth to. So prasavaha. Now Angavan, very simple. Vatup is there, like Bhagavan. I think we don't need to go all through all that. I think we already know. Look at the translation quickly. Let us see what we have. Says. By the way, in the last shloka, we didn't just go translation. We didn't go through for the last shloka translation. We didn't go through that. Let's go through that. So those princes is te. Princess is supplied from the commentary Kumaraha. So te. The lords of their. So this one is taken like okay, lords of their subjects. That is prajanatha. So lords of their subjects. By their valor is tejasa is taken. Viryan is taken as that. Prashrayena is by their modesty. One is jahruh, they captivated. The hearts is manaha, it's taken as heart. Of their people, that is prajana manaha. Like is the iva. The days is divasaha, days. Of dark clouds is the shama bhraha. At the end is ante. Nidhaga is summer. Nidhaga ante, at the end of summer. This one he says, the king's progeny. Kings is the Prithvi Patehe, kings. Progeny is Prasavaha. Thus is probably supplied. Divided fourfold. Is a fourfold is Chaturdha. Fourfold, Chaturdha. Divided is Vyastha. Vyastha is divided. Split up, arranged. Seem to be is that probably Iva. Seem to be. Virtue is dharma, wealth is artha, pleasure is kama, final bliss is moksha. In bodily form, angavan. Descending is the avatara. Ava plus dhatu thru, long ru, thru, tarati, thru, avatara is descent, coming down. Thru is to cross actually, tarati is to go across. Avatru is to come down, to descend, ascend, descending on earth. So that completes that shloka. We'll do the next one. I'll just do the quick analysis and we'll stop because it's already 8:35. Maybe like about 5 or 10 minutes at the most. We'll look at it next time again. Okay. Next we'll look at this one again. Next time we'll complete this adhyaya. This one we'll just do padacheda and maybe just simple meaning and come back to it next time. Okay. So gunair aradhayama suho te gurung guruvatsalaha tameva chaturantesham रत्नैरिव महार्णवाः गुणैराराधयामासुस्ते गुरुं गुरुवत्सलाः तमेव चतुरन्तेषं रत्नैरिव महार्णवाः गुणैराराधयामासुस्ते गुरुं गुरुवत्सलाः तमेव चतुरन्तेषं Ratnai Maharnavaha. I think this is pretty straightforward, not tongue twisters. So Gunaihi Aradhayamasuhu. Again, we saw this before last time in great detail. We went through the whole thing last time. We saw that form Udjotayamasuhu. So this Aradhayamasuhu. Again, you see this Aya followed by the Pratyaya Am followed by the Dhatu As in lit form. This is going to be anuprayoga, lit, and it's going to be the causative form of something. Could be churadigana. So we won't repeat the whole thing again this time. We did it last time in great detail. Aradhayamasu. And te, gurum, guruvatsalaha is a compound. We'll come back to that. Tam, eva, chaturantesham is a compound. Chaturantesham. Chatur is pratipadikam is chatur. Chaturantesham. And Ratnaihi Iva Maharnavaha is a compound. Maharnavaha. So let's go inside the compounds. First one is Guru Vatsalaha. So Guru and Vatsala. Vatsala means dear, Priya. Guru in this case probably means the father. Even though it means like Acharya, or so, but here it means probably Guru means one who has reverence, importance. So Guru can mean father. Of course, sometimes means elder brother also. This can mean father also. In this case, means father. He says, in fact, you can look down here. It says Gurum is Pitaram. Malyanta clearly says Gurum Pitaram. Okay. Tam eva chaturantesham. Okay. Now chatur anta and isha. Chatur, anta, isha. So yeah, normally anta means end, but here he's going to make it is Chaturnam, Antanam is Digantanam. So Diganta is going to make it. Supply the word dig inside there, which just means like of the ends of the four directions. So means he supplied the word Diganta. Dig is being supplied there. So Diganta and Isha. So he was the master of the four directions. Then Maharnava is so we're going to come to the compound in detail down here. Okay, so we'll leave it for that. The Maharnavaha is clearly Karmadharya. Mahascha Asavarnavascha. So simple, and the Mahat becoming Maha is going to be in 6.3 mentioned to you many times. That all these sutras where you have the Uttarapade, Purapadasya Karyani Vidiyante, Shashtasya Dhyayasya Titiya Pade. In the third pada of the sixth Adhyaya Ashtadhyayi, you get all these rules which tell you what to do to the Purapada when we have a Uttarapada. And there you will see the sutram, the Anmahata. That is the, not Anmahata, sorry, that is in the other one. So you'll see, it was Anmahataha. In fact, this is interesting. But anyway, Anmahataha, Samanadhikarana, Jatiyayo. Jati is pratyaya called Jatiya. We don't, most of the time we have this Samanadhikarana. That's important. Only when you have Samanadhikarana, only you get the Mahat becomes Maha, Alontyasya. So At becomes the Ta becomes A, you do the Akasavana Dirgha becomes Maha. The similar sutram coming here, by the way. Santamata Sanyogasya, that's a different one. That's coming in the 7, this one is here. Santamahataha, that's Anmahataha. It will be confusing. 614 is Santamahataha. This one is Anmahatasya. So this Anmahataha, Samadhikarana Jatiyayoho. That's the one you want. Like we say Mahatma. So all these words come in. Mahashano Mahapapma, Bhagavad Gita, right? Mahashano Mahapapma. It's very common sutram, 6346. So that's the compound, the Karmadharya compound. And so Gunaihi is Titiya Bahuvachanam. Aradayamasu is the verb. It's a Prathama Purusha, Bahuvachanam, lit Lakara, Anuprayoga, lit Parasmapada. Te again Kumaraha. It's Prathama Bahuvachanam, Sahatau Te. Gurum is Ditya Ekavachanam. Guru Vatsalaha is qualifying Kumaraha. The Bahuvrihi compound. You can see the details below. It's going to be Prathama Bahuvachanam. Tam is Ditya Ekavachanam. Eva is Avyaya. Chaturantesham is going to qualify the Tam. It's going to be Dvitiya Ekavachanam Pullinga. Ratnaihi is going to be Tritiya Ekavachanam. It's going to be Napumsakalinga, Ratnani. This is what I was telling you, is that when you have the Upama Upameya, the Linga may not match. That will be like a huge constraint to match the Lingam all the time. So Gunaihi is Gunaha. Teen Gunan comes in Gita, right? Teen Gunati Vartate, Gunan. So it is a Pullinga Shabda, Gunaihi. Compared with Ratnaihi down here. But the only Vibhaktis have to match. Most of the time the number will match. But the gender doesn't have to match at all. So Gunaihi is Pullinga, Ratnaihi is Napumsakalinga. Maharnavaha is Prathama Bahuvachanam, Iva is Avyaya. So this simple sentence is that Te Kumaraha Gurum Aradhayamasu. And Aradhayamasu, normally when we say Aradhayamasu, we say is they worshipped. Aradhanam, Tasya Aradhanam Ihate, right? Bhagavad Gita. So Aradhanam means to worship. So Pujayamasu. But here Mulinatha says Anandayamasu. He's taking the meaning of the A plus Rad to be Anandayamasu. They made him happy. They made their father happy. Aradhayamasu, Anandayamasu. This is how you get to see the Upasarga, which various dhatus, how they change their meanings. You can only learn from reading a lot. And here we have seen the A plus Rad becomes Anandayamasu. Okay. So the translation will be is that okay, let's look at this commentary and we'll stop. Okay, we'll continue next time. So Guru Vatsalaha is Pitru Bhaktaha. Okay, now they were dear to their father. Okay, we can take it like that. Now, the interesting thing is that were they such that their father was dear to them, or were they dear to their father? Which one can we take now? Now here is taking Guru Pitru Bhaktaha now. He's saying that they were such that they were devoted to their father. So Vatsalaha is taking as the word Bhaktaha. So he's taking devoted to. So he's not taking, so he's taking as Shashita Purusha only. So he's not taking it as a Bahuvrihi. Not taking as a Bahuvrihi. So they are not the ones to whom their father was dear. The main reason for that is that, I'll quickly want to mention to you, is that in a Bahuvrihi, most of the time the adjective comes first. Adjective comes first. Adjective comes first. Because Pani says, Saptami Visheshane Bahuvrihau. This is Pani Sutram. Saptami Visheshane Bahuvrihau. And that is, as I said in Bahuvri, everything has Upasajana Sanya. You don't know what to put first. Say, whatever is Saptami or Visheshanam comes first in Bahuvriha. There are some exceptions. We say like Bhojana Priyavai Brahmana. I'm sorry. It says Brahmanas like to eat. So Bhojana Priyavai Brahmana. What's Vigraha Vakyam of that? So Bhojanam Priyam Yesham Te. Priyam is adjective, should come first. Should become Priya Bhojana, not Bhojana Priya Brahmana. So but there are exceptions. But as a general rule, the Visheshanam should go first. So that is why he's not taking it is like they were such that their father was dear to them. He's taking it that they were such that they were devoted to them. They were devotees of their father. Means they were dear to their father. So he's taking Guroho Vatsalaha, and this Guroho Bitru Bhakta is what he's taking it as. We'll come back to it next time again if you have more questions. Tez Kumaraha. Gunaihi is by their qualities. This is also Karanarthe, by means of their qualities. Vinayadibhi. What kind of qualities? Like humility, etc. Now Gurum saying Pitaram, in this case he has to comment on that, because Gurum normally can mean like an Acharya or somebody. It means his father. Chaturantesham is Chaturanam Antanam equals Diggantanam. So even this was a straightforward Shashi Tatpurusha. We have two Shashi Tatpurushas here. Chaturunanam, and it says Digantanam. Actually, I'm sorry, only one Shashi Tatpurusha. You have a Karma in here. Of the Lord of the four directions. The four directions. So now we do have a Karmadharya inside Dvandva Garbha we have, which is not Dvandva, I'm sorry, take it back. We have a Karmadharya, and then following that we have Shashi Tatpurusha. He makes one comment on that, is that Taditartha Ityadina Uttarapada Samasaha. Why is he telling us that? Because remember one thing we saw in the Karmadharya is that we can only use a number or direction word if it is going to be Sanyayam, Dik Sankhya Sanyayam, Dik Sankhya Sanyayam. So Pani says you cannot say Chatur Brahmana. Chatur Veda you can say, because there is Dik Sankhya Sanyayam constrains a Karmadharya. You can only use a Dig Vachaka or Sankhya Vachaka Shabda, Pura Pada, only Sanyayam. We don't have Sanya over here. But next sutram is Taditartha Uttarapada Samaharecha. If that Karmadharya is going to take a Taditartha Pratyaya after it, or it's going to be part of a bigger Samasa, Uttarapade, or it's going to be a Samahara, then you can take, like it's a Panchapatram. Panchapatram. It's a collection of 5 patras. So those, you can also use a Sankhya Shabda in the prior. So Sankhya or Digvaj Shabda. So either you have a Taditartha falling, means you have to use that, it should go into a Tadita form, or should be a part of a bigger compound, Uttarapade, which is what we have by the way, or Samahara. So that's why Malinatha is saying that this is a sutram by which Chatur has been used, even though it's not Sanyayam. He's saying that it is used iti Chatur Taditartha Uttarapade Samaharecha. So Uttarapada is what we have, because we have Chatur Anta we had. So Chatur, that was the 4 direction. But then we have Isha following. So that's how we can justify the use Chatur in the Samasa, even without Sanyaya. Come back to it next time. And Tam Dasharatham Eva. That same Dasharatha.
Unmuted.
In Maharnavaha is Chatvaraha, the 4 oceans. Ratnaihi like Gunaihi. Aradhayamasuhu is like Anandayamasuhu. The trick in this thing is that Tameva, the same Dasharatha, whom the oceans kind of worshipped or made happy by offering their jewels to him. The same Dasharatha was the father whom these four princes worshipped or they made him happy by means of their qualities. So the Dasharatha is going up and down both ways. Okay. So let's stop. We'll do it next time. I don't want to take it too late. Already 8:48. Anyway, have any questions? We'll look at the transition next time. Okay.
Okay.
So
General question,
yes.
Satish.
Yes.
You said in the comparing similes, the linga doesn't have to match.
No, it doesn't have to match. No.
Okay. Sometimes the vibhaktis generally always match.
They have no. They all have to match.
Match. But the number doesn't match, then you'll have a problem applying the verb, right?
You have to parivartanam kartavyam. You have to see how to change the verb.
Okay, so it can
you
happen.
Make it that you have to adjust that. They will not repeat that one.
Okay.
In fact, it comes in Gita in one place, by the way, which I'm forgetting now. If you want to take some homework,
okay,
find Upama in the Gita. The Vachanam does not match.
Okay.
Okay, find example in the Gita. And if it doesn't come to my mind right now, but I know there is an example in the Gita.
All right.
I'm pretty sure there is, but where the Vachanam does not match.
Okay.
Okay.
Before we conclude, we need to discuss change to Thursday.
Okay, next time we start on Thursday. Is that okay with everybody? If somebody is not okay, raise your hand. So if everybody says it's okay with everybody, I think Raja would request Thursday is better for him.
Right.
Let's move to Thursday from next week. Okay.
Okay.
So next week we'll have the class on the 11th, not on the 8th. Okay. I mean, Wayne will send the email to all.
Yeah, I'll send the email to everybody.
On the 11th, not on the 8th.
Okay.
So Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Vijay Ramena Vijata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Padataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhotame Bhora Mama Muddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Dattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Sri Rama Nama Varanana On Nama Iti. Any questions, any comments? So Kalpesh ji, this Ajit Krishnan ji he's on the West Coast. He's doing a lot of work on the, collecting web sources and stuff.